We talked at half-time. Indonesia had enjoyed the better of the first 25 minutes, but this goal was the turning point in the match, wasn't it? Azimuddin bin Akil, sensational finish and a great cross.
It was an excellent finish, and Mahali had a very, very good game. His delivery into the box was inch perfect, and Azimuddin doing what he should do from a left midfield position, attacking that back post. He got himself all the way into the 6-yard box, and then he met it perfectly. Very, very well-timed finish, and it was a delightful little finish.
And 3 minutes later, you're never ever completely safe at 2-0, but it was too much to ask of Indonesia to come from 2 goals down. Mahali Jasuli, the chance looked like it gone, but fantastic perseverance and a fantastic finish from a difficult angle.
It was very cut play on the right side of midfield for Malaysia. Wanzak Haikal just holding the ball up, showed some very, very good composure. He played in the path of Mahali. Mahali with a good first touch to play it into his right foot, and then he just finished in the back of the net. It was a very good finish by a right fullback.
So by half-time, Malaysia led by 2 goals to 0, and they were pretty safe that they were going to go through. They didn't know whether they were going to go through as group winners, though, or group runners-up, because of the amazing scenes at the Shah Alam. You're going to see 7 goals now and a kidder for miss of the season in this tournament, already league in the world. Let's have a look at what happened at the Shah Alam. Well, Laos took a shock lead. We talked about this at half-shot clock, and Kampeng giving the Laotians the lead.
And it's poor defending from Singapore. You see there's plenty of space there, just drifting in between the 2 central defenders, and Laos actually approached this game in a very positive manner. They deserved
They had
to go
nothing
ahead.
to lose, did they?
They certainly didn't, and I think they've performed well in this tournament. Where they've struggled with is consistency.
Now have a look at this. Miss of the season, Alexander Djuric, 2 yards out. That's like Ronnie Rosenthal-esque. It's a shocker, Peach, come on. I know he's a great guy and a fantastic footballer at 42 years of age, but that's poor.
And an ex-teammate of mine, I can see exactly what he's thinking. He's going to run into the post there. Alex 9 times out of 10 will be in the back of the net.
And we joke about the miss now, but how serious did it look just a couple of minutes later when Lithideth doubled the Laotian lead, 2-0 Laos.
And Lithideth, that's a great finish. Did very well just to cut inside on his right foot. We can see here, Singapore were at this point in time not as solid as it had been defensively. Laos were able to get in behind them and create opportunities.
But crucially, in first half injury time, that man Shahril Ishak pulled one back for Singapore, and what a great time to score, PJ.
Oh, it certainly is, Patrick. It certainly is. Just before half-time, because you go into that half-time break with a lot more momentum. You know that the goal difference is just down to 1. You're very much in the game.
Now, keep up with this, because obviously we're 2-1 here. Going into half-time, Laos 2, Singapore 1. The second half, it's that man again, Shahril Ishak. To be fair to Djuric with the assist here, and Roy levelled up.
Shahril Ishak did very, very well. You see, he collected the ball, he brought it back inside. Alexander Djuric with a good flick on, and that's exactly what you want from Alex. But Shahril
That's
Ishak
what he's there for, isn't it? Yeah.
That's exactly right. They link up very well, they combine well. But it's the first touch from Shahril just here, and then he cuts it back inside and he takes it early. It's a very, very good finish.
So at 2-2, Singapore still had to know what was going on at the Bukit Jalil. They needed to try and win this game, and to be fair to them, they went for it and they got rewarded. The 3rd goal coming through Carol Amory, making it 3-2 on the night.
Carol Amory, that is a wonderful set piece. We saw a great one against Laos for Malaysia. Shafiq with a good set piece, 2 world-class finishes.
And Nawaz seemingly put the game to bed, 4-2.
And Singapore in absolute delight. Fans all across the nation in Singapore would have been jubilant scenes. Looked as though they were dead and buried when they were down 2 goals to 0, but they responded also very well. So we look at both Singapore and Malaysia from this group stepping up, and when they required results, they got them.
But the scoring wasn't over. I think we can all agree that's a cast iron pen, and Kampeng stepped up to make it still a little bit nervous for Singapore, because this was with, what, 9 minutes to go, and we could have had a miracle comeback from Indonesia. Who knew what was going to happen? But this, as it turned out, will be the last goal of an incredible night's football.
Exit this tournament with their heads held high. They've performed very, very well. That gap between the top-tier nations in Southeast Asia and the teams like Myanmar and Laos really is narrowing.
So this is how Group B finishes after a breathless night. Singapore beating Laos 4-3 and Malaysia topping Indonesia by 2 goals to 0. Singapore top the group, and that could be crucial. We'll ask PJ why in just a couple of moments. Malaysia go through, but it's Singapore topping the group by virtue of a better goal difference. Indonesia in Laos propping it up. Now, last night Group A was settled. Thailand, without doubt the most impressive team of the tournament so far, 100%, conceded just 2 goals and scored 9. They went through alongside the Philippines, who got the better of Myanmar to qualify for the semis. And here is your semi-final lineup for the AFF Suzuki Cup 2012. Semi-final 1 is next Saturday. We'll confirm times for you later in the week. The Philippines will take on Singapore with the first leg in Manila. And semi-final 2 is Malaysia against Thailand, with one assumes the first leg in Kuala Lumpur. The reverse fixtures are on Wednesday and Thursday, so the teams there named first will play the second leg away from home. Now let's talk about that difference in Singapore topping the group or finishing second, and obviously likewise for Malaysia, because by topping Group B you avoid Thailand, and on all evidence we've seen so far, you'd rather give someone else a chance to knock Thailand out first, and if you are going to face them in the final.
That's exactly right. Thailand, really the form team in this competition, scoring only conceding 2. So going forward, they're really exuberant, they look good, and defensively they are very, very solid. So to avoid Thailand is...
And it's almost like a brand new tournament starting all over again.
It really is, and then the home and away as well. You're not only playing just a one-off game, you're playing over 2 games. How obviously Malaysia won the Suzuki Cup in 2010 over a 4-2 aggregate. You've got to play the games. Basically, the first game is going to be so tight. The second game is the one that opens up depending on the result.
Can history repeat itself? Malaysia won the Suzuki Cup for the first time in their history, having been drubbed in the opening game, beating Indonesia in the final. Won't be beating Indonesia in the final this time, but can they go all the way? Who's your tip to win it on what you've seen from the groups?
I think they can. At the moment, I'd have to say Thailand. You'd have to say Thailand would be the favourite. I was very impressed with Malaysia's performance tonight. We know that they've worked their way into this tournament. Coming up against an Indonesian team which started the game very well, I thought Malaysia's overall performance was very professional. They were very disciplined tactically. I think they provided some decent options going forward. And what I liked about Malaysia's performance was you had Mahali and Azharuddin scoring the goals, not your superstars up front, Nurashul and Safi.
We know the semi-final lineup. Look forward to next Saturday. Cannot wait for the Singapore going to the Philippines on Saturday, and on Sunday it will be Malaysia taking on Thailand. Many thanks to PJ Roberts. Great work from Des as well. We'll see you next week for more Suzuki Cup on Star Sports.